Tonight's Star Darbar is a very special episode. It is with the mystic and the bard Sadhguru Jaggi Vasudev, themed a ride with Sadhguru, motorcycles, and a mystic. Let's join with Ragini for this special episode where Sadhguru candidly and joyfully unraveled his motorbike expedition in North America to explore the Native American spirituality and some golden nuggets on life during the pandemic, and how physical and emotional wellness plays a key role in being truly alive in the most quintessential sense.
Friends, welcome to Star Darbar. Today we have our most special guest of the day. He is the bard, the mystic of India, and a proponent of peace and love to millions. Yes, you guessed it right. He is the master, I can say, and also the founder of Isha Foundation, and yet a child at heart. Let's welcome Sadhguru Jaggi Vasudev in Star Darbar at Manativ International. Namaskar,
Namaskar.
namaste, and welcome. And want to ask you, how are you? Where are you? And what is the significance of this place?
We are here at Bryce National Park. Well, the significance of this place is it is full of such magnificent natural structures which have formed over 60 million years, and they all stand there like living monuments. In fact, the Native American people believe that these were people who were turned into stone because they look like that. At the same time, if you look at the way the structures are, many of them are… you would… if you take a very vague picture of this, you would think it's a bunch of Indian temples because the design is like that. So that's what I was saying today. The Indian sculptors understood what lasts for thousands of years and they built the geometry. Here the natural geometry of the structures is almost the same as many Indian temples. Only thing is those temples are built a little wider so that people can use the inner space. Here they're just rock structures, but they look like a series of temples simply because of the geometric perfection which nature has achieved. And it's a most magnificent place. You know, truly incredible what nature has done here.
Firstly, I really want to thank you that you came to our show, and with your blessing, you are enlightening our Manativ International viewers and, of course, the TV5 audience as well. On a lighter note, I want to start this. I want to start our conversation with your love for motorcycles as well. Like, which bike you are riding today?
I have no particular love for motorcycles. I have
Okay.
love for everything. Motorcycles also happen to be one of them. And naturally, whatever you're good at, you use that. I do many other things, but these days not much time. Because of this pandemic, I have time to ride motorcycles, otherwise for many years, for decades I have not ridden motorcycles. What am I riding? I'm riding a 1600 GT, uh, which is I don't know how much you or your viewers would be interested in the specs
Of
of a
course, there are
motorcycle.
people.
Uh, well, it's a inline-six engine with 160 bhp, and it's built for roads, it's not built for off-roads. It's a wonderful machine, it's behaving well and doing good to me.
Okay, great to know. Good to know that you are doing fantastic during this pandemic era as well. We're gonna go to that part a little later, but first I want to ask you that your journey onto exploring spiritual America on your motorbike has created a big wave too, and also the curiosity among all of us all over the globe. So firstly, tell us that why have you chosen this expedition and your uncanny love for the Native American culture?
Well, my engagement with them, uh, I've been interested in Native American culture for a very long time, but
Mhm.
my exposure was limited. About 17 years ago, I came in touch with a certain spiritual aspect of Native Americans in a very, very powerful way when I was at the Center Hill Lake in Tennessee.
Mhm.
Mm, in many ways, that was probably the most painful moment of my life because I saw such pain and resentment and shame in that space that the very land that I stood on was soaked with it. So that is one reason why we set up the center itself in that place that that is known as the Trail of Tears. At that time I did not know the history of the place, but I experienced this and then I inquired and found out more about it. Then I knew it is a Trail of Tears, and that's where we set up the center. In many ways, it's a beautiful place also, but more than the beauty, it is the pain which drew me to this place. I thought we must do something because this is my work. If people ask me, Sadhguru, what is your ultimate, desire for yourself? I
Mhm.
say I must become unemployed, because if I am unemployed, that means everybody is doing wonderful in the world. That means that's a great time. I would like to be unemployed, but they're keeping me busy, what to do? So, because there is pain, because people suffer, that is why all this spiritual dimension of the work is important. If everybody was bursting with ecstasy, then there would be no need for me to do all this work. I would just simply be, uh, do whatever is my pleasure, but
Absolutely.
that's not been my life. So it is the pain which drew me. I've been engaged with them. Since then, I've been looking at these possibilities. I've been wanting to get in touch with them here and there, a few contacts we made in the past few years, but my schedules have been such I could not do anything really serious. But this pandemic gave me uh, freedom from my regular schedules that I used to have. Right,
Mhm.
2020 was packed before it came, but all of it got cleared. None of the events could happen, so I decided this is the time to do it. And being on a motorcycle, I'm socially well distanced from everybody, so
True, true, absolutely true. But what are the challenges you were facing during your trip? Because it's the pandemic time, and of course, you are driving with your own bike, but is there anything that you are facing at all?
the only regret is many of the Indian Native American reservations are closed. Many of the elders who want to come and meet us, most of them are either in late 70s or 80s. Because of the restrictions, they are not able to come and meet us. So some of them were meeting outside the reservation, some we are meeting on, like online calls and stuff like that, as I'm meeting you right now like this. But this is the only regret right now, that we are not able to spend enough time with them, we are not able to actually be in the reservation and experience that life. We are talking to them, but not really there physically. That is the only real regret, otherwise everything else is fine.
Nice to hear that. You just quoted that I was drawn to this place not for its beauty but more for its pain. And uh, is this the way you think that we can, or did you choose pain to get to the heart of the natives?
It is a very most part of Native American culture today is in a certain sense of confusion, pain, resentment, anger, like this, hopelessness. But this generation is rising, they're becoming hopeful, they're getting educated, they're also very proud of their culture. Well, for a long time they could not practice their spirituality because it was illegal to do that. But since 1978, their spiritual process, their religion is legal, they can practice their rituals and stuff. So it is all coming back. There's been a long period of dislocation, so it's not so easy for them to bring it back, but the effort is on. Once again, people are proud of their culture, they want to bring this. What I see is there is such a big interest in the world today about exotic cultures. If these reservations are well preserved, if they maintain their costume, if they maintain their cultures, if they maintain their religion, and their rituals, I think it can become a tremendous tourist attraction for United States and also for them, for their livelihood, without giving up their culture, without going and working in a factory or somewhere else. They can do what they love to do and still live well and also be part of the economy, which is what I'm looking at, which is what I'm talking to them, that they must present their culture in its full liveliness, not as a dead archive, but in full liveliness. They must live it, then only people will want to see it and appreciate it. And above all, in today's world, everybody is talking about ecological concerns, environmental, is aspects of life. Well, unfortunately, in 21st century, environment, ecology, it is only in the textbooks, it is in the schools, it is in the universities, it is in PhD theses or something like this. But here is a culture, here is a whole civilization where for them environment was not a textbook or a science or something, it lived in their hearts. That is what needs to happen to 21st century, that environmental concerns should live in our hearts, not in our textbooks, not as some abstract science, but as we breathe. What I exhale, this tree is inhaling, what the tree exhales, I'm inhaling. So this has to become a living process. This is what we did in India, which made the Project Clean Hands and Rally for Rivers and now the Kaveri Calling become a big success, because I made people experience that what you are exhaling, the trees are inhaling. What the trees are exhaling, you are inhaling. This is a reality, this is not a philosophy, this is not an ideology, this is a reality. Once you experience that, then it is in your heart, then you don't need to look at it like some abstract thing, it is a part of your living, the way you live itself is like that. That is what this culture is, bringing this back alive and making the new generations exposed to this way of life is very important, if at all, if we are interested in keeping this planet in some reasonable form.
True, absolutely true. Friends, we are in a very special episode of Star Darbar with our favorite Sadhguru and with his
I didn't
uncanny
know I
and
was a favorite, huh?
unprecedented… Yes, you are quite right.
When,
Yes, of
when did
course
I
you
become a
are. Of
favorite?
course you are. You are my favorite for a long time, and I got the privilege of meeting you last year in a show in New York itself, and it was a fantastic time that we all had together. And of course, I met you in Pennsylvania as well. I went there with my crew and everyone else, so it was a quite fantastic time, and we really enjoyed a lot. But here, I just want to say to my viewers that we are with again our favorite Sadhguru, and with his uncanny and unprecedented yet joyful bike ride spreading across 10,000 miles of USA, and to delve deep into the fascinating history, mysteries, and enigmas of the Native American spiritual heritage, called off motorcycles and mystic ride with Sadhguru. How you came up with this idea?
Well, I've been wanting to get in touch with them, but as it is not a culture which is written down, there are no monuments, living like archaeological monuments, or there are no scriptures or literature, because this was an oral culture. And it is only by feeling out the energies in the space that you know something. As they used to say, that for them, whatever is there, whatever they experience is blowing in the wind. So I thought if it's blowing in the wind, it's best that I ride, not go in a car, so that I may miss the whole wind. So I'm getting all the wind I asked for.
That is fantastic. Please, it's my kind request this, please help our Melodic viewers understand your love and respect for Mark Twain and Abraham Lincoln.
My exposure to American literature came through Mark Twain. Though later on I read many people, that one book, Huckleberry Finn, stuck in my head, and because maybe I was not so dirty as him, but in many ways it was me. So when I was young, I was 10x wilder than Huck Finn, but I was clean. I was not dirty.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Because being in India, you had to shower every day. Except for that, I was the same thing. So, what I liked about Mark Twain was because he used common language, he did not go for hyphened, refined English. He just went for what people speak on day-to-day basis. And in his own words, he said, others write in fine, refined English, which is like fine wine. But my work is like water, but everybody needs and likes water. So, and I think my work is also like water, very ordinary as it can be.
Well, it is ordinary with the extraordinary mission that we all can say, and we really love you for that, for the things that you are doing for all of us, for the whole world. Like the thing already you said with Kavri calling, and now this is really amazing. The whole team, the whole Isha Foundation is doing this is really amazing, and really want to thank to all of you. But here I want to ask you my next question, that is, how can the spiritual knowledge of the Native Americans benefit the youth of this era?
We will be presenting that in an elaborate way. Right now we are documenting all that. It'll take us another 2 to 3 months to probably come out with this material. Right now, what is being thrown out is just snippets of daily, what is captured on cell phone cameras, what is captured on real cameras. Will take another 2 to 3 months of work before we can get it out. Definitely we will put out what is Native American spirituality and how it is relevant for today. And when it comes to spiritual process, there is no such thing as Indian American, this, that. Expressions are different. Essentially, it's human longing to make their lives more profound, that's all. Because this is all you can do with life. There are only two things: profoundness in terms of one's experience. When it comes to activity, how much impact we can create in the world. This is all there is to life, there is really nothing else. Profoundness of experience, impactfulness of activity, that's all there is. So, we would like to definitely use this dimension also to assist people to make their lives much more profound. That if your life experience becomes very profound, what you have, what you don't have, what happens, what doesn't happen, all these things don't matter because your experience of life is so profound. What you're wearing, what you're eating, where you are, where you're not, all these things will be irrelevant. And that's very important today. If we must understand, right now, this whole ecological degradation and the damage to the planet, everything is happening in pursuit of human happiness. If only human beings were happy by their own nature, then we would do what is needed. Right now we're doing what is not needed and that's why all this is happening. So, we will also send you some footage of the rides and some spectacular sites. Please, if you think you can use it, please make use of it. Radhika, thank you very much. I have to go to a place for the sunset, that's why we are here in Bryce Canyon.
Absolutely.
Thank you
Yes,
very much.
absolutely, Sadhguru. Thank you so much for being here. If you can just say 2 words to my viewers, just to stay calm in this pandemic era, please.
Well, it's unfortunate. Over 1 million people have lost lives. Many have lost their dear ones. People have lost jobs. Many businesses have closed down. There's economic loss for everybody. I'm telling you, everybody, that includes us as a foundation. We have been hit very badly. But when outside situations don't work for us, it's very important that we keep ourselves well. Right now they're talking about a mental pandemic and a suicide pandemic. This is tragic because what happens around us is not 100% ours, our making always. We have a stake, but it's not everything. What happens within us is 100% ours. If you don't take care of that, then what is the point? The quality of your life is not determined by what's around you, it's only determined by what's happening within you. This one thing you take care. Now that you don't have a job and can't go and socialize in the evenings, do this and that, at least do this much, everybody. In the next 1 month, fix this up. In the next 1 month, physically you must be 10% fitter than what you are right now. You also, Radhika, I'm telling you. Mentally,
Ragini.
you must be
Ragini.
I'm sorry, Ragini.
Yes.
Mentally, you must be 10% sharper than what you are right now. For this, we can give you tools how to make it sharper. Emotionally, you must be 10% more balanced than what you're right now. Whatever your job is, whatever you're doing in your life, you must be 10% more competent than what you're right now. Can you imagine if all of us are 10% better, what a wonderful world we'll be living in 1 month's time? Please, let's make it happen.
Let's
Let's make it
happen.
happen. Be with me, ride with me for the next few days. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for being here, and thank you so much, Sadhguru, for giving us your blessings, my friend. This is me, Ragini, and of course, it was a very special episode in Start Darbar. I hope you enjoyed it. We'll be back next week with somebody very special, only for you guys. Lots of love, and thank you so much for being here, Sadhguru, with all of us. Namaskar, namaste, and good night, everyone.